today, like Glenn said, we are going to talk about ways that we can improve our business, ways that we can get some visibility. I like talking about ways that you can do this without actually having to spend money. Because I know in the market that we're in, when everybody's making a little bit less money, sometimes, footing the bill for something tends to hurt a little bit more. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about optimizing your Google business profile for new opportunities, for lead generation, and for just overall brand presence online. Like I said, I'm going to go a little quickly because I'm summarizing 2 classes in one today. So if for some reason you do have a question, if it's applicable at that time, I don't mind answering it, and covering it, during the class. If for some reason it is kind of like, hey, my Google business profile is giving me issues or something like that, I don't mind also meeting offline and figuring out what we need to do to help you get your profile up to speed. So feel free to let me know those things in the chat, and then we can move forward from there.
Allie, can I stop you one second? I'm sorry to interrupt. It looks like I only have the ability to direct message you.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a setting or whether I'll be able to read everybody else's chat. I don't want to start and have a question sitting in there. If somebody can just send me a test message in chat, then I'll just verify that I'm getting all the chats.
Can you
I just know yours.
Can you respond to that? Because that's the entire meeting group. That's everybody's.
Yeah. Okay.
They can only send to me. Okay. Never mind. They can only send to me for some reason. It must be how Emily has it set up on her end. So I'll keep an eye.
I wanted to make sure I said that before.
That's okay. I'll keep an eye on the chat. No big deal.
Okay.
Yep. So a little bit about me, like Glenn said, so I am a division of WFG National Title. We are one of the title insurance underwriters, obviously at Rally Point. My group is called the MTD group, which it means I'm a marketing and technology director. We also call ourselves the title nerds. And what my job is to come into your businesses, provide you guys value, educate you on marketing, social media, branding, digital advertising, online, opportunities, short form video, business planning. There's so much to what we do. And that's my job, is to come alongside you, and really kind of share the information that I know and help you grow your business. So we're going to talk a little bit about Google My Business Profile today, which is actually one of my favorite topics because I think there's so much opportunity in this space that most people don't even know that they could take advantage of. So let's get going. Our agenda for today, we are going to cover some Google business changes. So if you haven't logged into your Google business profile in a while, which tends to happen often, we're going to run through a little bit of the changes that took place over the last year. We're going to talk about how important profile completion is. We're going to talk about the 5 R's of reviews. We're going to talk a little bit about SEO, search engine optimization, and backlinks, and how you can use those things to create more opportunities on your Google business account. We're going to talk about citations, geotagging photos, FAQs, and the chat. I know that seems like a lot. I'm not going to go in depth on a couple of these things. I'm really just going to talk high level on how to do these things very quickly, or, to put in maybe your, week to week or month to month opportunities of working inside of your business. So first things first, in late 2022, so this time last year, Google Business actually changed their name from Google My Business to Google Business Profile. The Google My Business app no longer exists. So if you had an app on your phone last year for Google Business, it might still be there, but it's not going to work. It might have disappeared depending on what updates you have done. So just know that Google My Business is no longer a thing, and Google Business Profile replaced it. You can manage your Google Business Profile through Google Search. So if you're logged into your Google account, you can just type in your business name. It should come up. Or you can manage it through Google Maps. Essentially what Google said was, hey, let's make it easier for people to manage their Google business. Instead of having a third-party app, let's just let them manage it in Google Search. So if you're logged into your account, Google search your business, you'll be able to access your profile and your dashboard there, and you should be able to edit your Google business profile right on that Google search page, which is super wonderful. What we've seen over the last year, the platform had a really large update late last year, about this time last year, but we are still consistently seeing new features added to Google business profiles. So we've seen the addition of allowing you to add your social profiles, allowing you to add if you're a women or veteran owned business. We've seen the addition of a live chat option and a traditional chat option added, and doing like Q&As and all of these wonderful things. So as Google business kind of gets going and really gets into this information, we're seeing consistent changes in the platform. And the best part about that is it provides opportunity, because Google likes to see people active in their platform. So if you're consistently logging in and seeing what's changed, what's updated, you're going to have the best possible opportunity to get those Google local search results, because you're telling Google that I care about my business account. I'm active in my business account and I want success from this business account. And then verification. So verification used to happen. Verification of your business account used to happen only through like a postcard that they would send you. And you had to wait like 2 weeks for this postcard. You had to go back into your profile. You had to put in a code. It was a pain in the butt. So now verification can happen via phone, text, email, video. You might have to, I have a typo in there, I apologize. You might have to verify with one or more methods, but they've made it a lot easier for people to verify their accounts. So that's a really welcome change on our end as well. So the first thing I want to talk about is the things that we're going to kind of cover today. I want to talk to you about why they're important. And right now, the reason, and this is strictly from Google, it tells you exactly what they want to see to make sure that you're ranking locally in your space. So they want to see a complete and used Google business profile. That's going to get you the most results, is having a complete business profile, making sure that you're updating it consistently, that you're in there, that you are utilizing all the tools and resources that they're providing. That's going to be the reason that you rank locally more than any other thing. The next thing on that list is reviews, making sure that you have reviews, making sure that you're responding to those reviews, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Then it's going to factor in website SEO, so search engine optimization. How much does your website provide when it comes to local information, and how does that reflect back onto your Google business profile? The fourth thing is going to be backlinks, essentially links from your website to other websites, kind of giving your website credibility for the information that you have on there. Backlinks are built over time, and we can talk a little bit more about backlinks, but they're also an important part for ranking locally. And we can talk about how we would work through adding additional backlinks to your website. And then citations. So citations are nothing other than the same thing as Google business, but just in different areas. So a citation would be your name, your address, and your phone number, locating those things in different places on the interwebs. For example, having like an account on Yahoo Business or yellowpages.com, or you could even think of Yelp, like all of these different, even Facebook or, Instagram or LinkedIn, making sure that you have your name, your address, and your phone number in those spaces in other places of the internet other than just Google. And it's really important that we have those citations so Google knows that you don't only exist on Google, you exist in a lot of different places. So these are the reasons that we rank locally. So we're going to dive into a little bit more of this information. First and foremost, Google wants a complete profile. So first, if you have not claimed your business profile, I need you to go in and claim or create it. The reason I say claim or create it is if somebody has visited your business and you don't have a profile on there, they might have created a profile for you, whether that be in Maps or something, or have at least just said, hey, this person exists. So you might be able to Google yourself. It looks like a business profile comes up, but nobody's managing that. You can go on there and there's like a little blue button underneath the contact information that says, do you own this profile or claim this profile? And you can click on that and you can go in through the process of owning and claiming that profile. One of the other things that you want to do is you want to complete every single section of your Google business profile. Inside of that, you want to be diligent with the contact information that you're giving it. So yesterday I was on a call with a real estate agent in Florida, and her Google business profile name was completely different from her Facebook profile name, as well as from her LinkedIn profile name. And from all the other places that she exists online, it was different on all of these spaces. And what that does is it doesn't help Google to understand who you are, what you're about, what your brand is like. They want consistency. So that NAP, name, address, and phone number, should be exactly the same across all your digital platforms. And in my personal opinion, just based on what I know of SEO and ranking and all of that stuff, is what you are on Google should be what it is in other places. So that's the most important. And then we move and we make that what our name is in all of these other spaces. Let me see, I have a chat. Perfect. Yes, I will, Emily. Thanks. And I know that some people might not have that right now, but I'll tell you right now, if you can go back in and you can make sure that all of your searches existing in all of these different digital platforms, you'll start to rank. You'll start to get local rankings. You'll start to get better search. You'll start to see some results from your Google business profile if you do that. When you're setting up your account, you want to select your primary and secondary categories, but Google has told us for real estate agents, they want real estate agents to choose real estate agency as their primary category. You can choose real estate agent, real estate consultant, buyer's consultant, seller's consultant as secondary categories, but Google wants realtors to choose real estate agency as their primary category. And my guess would be because it's going to help you rank higher if they know that you're like a traditional, like kind of like a brick and mortar business. So we definitely want to categorize as real estate agency. You're going to want to choose areas that you serve now or want to serve. And the reason I put that in there is let's say you're trying to grow your business in a more higher net worth area, or maybe you're moving to a different part of town and you want to focus there. You want to add areas that you serve or areas that you want to serve to your profile. So that way Google knows where you work. You're going to want to add photos and videos of yourself, your team, your listings, your clients, if you have permission, your closing photos, all of these things. You can also add products. You can add your products being your listings. So add listing photos. You can add events. So let's say you are hosting a buyer's seminar. You can add that buyer's seminar as an event on your Google business profile. Let's say you have guides, a relocation guide, a neighborhood guide, a buyer and seller guide, maybe a FSBO guide or something like that. You can also add those guides to your account, which is a really amazing opportunity because Google looks at that and says, wow, this is a robust account. Let's serve some of these local searches to this real estate agent. Okay, so the 5 R's of Google reviews. So this is extremely important. So this is the second thing on the list that Google says is really important for people to make sure that they have in place. I always suggest to do a Google reviews strategy, and I'll talk a little bit about that down the road. But just so you know what the 5 R's of Google reviews are, the first one is rating. So it has been shown that humans just in general, don't think anybody should have a 5-star rating. They think that if somebody has a 5-star rating, that it is a red flag and they are fake reviews. So we want to shoot for 4.7, 4.8, or 4.9. Those have a tendency to be the most realistic ratings and reviews ever. So let's say you have 20 reviews right now at 5 stars. See if you can get one of your business partners to go on there and give you a 4-star, but still make the actual like text really good. But the consumer does not like to see 5-star only ratings. For them, it's a red flag of it not being true. Radius is a really important part of Google reviews. So the service areas mentioned in your reviews help. So let's say somebody is reviewing you and they put, Megan was awesome. We had set, she answered all of our questions. We would use her again. Maybe we can coach Megan and say, hey, Megan, when you write your review, do you mind mentioning just the city that you bought in? Or do you mind mentioning, where you were looking, or maybe the neighborhood, or whatever it is? Sometimes people don't want to put that information, but usually the city is a safe spot. So I always try to kind of ask people, hey, if you're willing to write this review, can you include a couple of things? Like you bought the house versus sold the house. You were in the city versus in this city versus this city, or you were a first-time home buyer or something like that. The next one is recency. So Google looks at the recency of your reviews. So businesses with 6-month-old reviews. So when the last review is 6-month-old, they will automatically rank you lower than somebody who has less reviews, but more recent reviews. So what this says to me is Google wants you consistently getting reviews. So this is where I would suggest implementing a consistent and repeatable review strategy. Relevancy. So the relevancy of your reviews. This has to do with kind of those keywords that I talked about: buyers, sellers, new home, maybe new construction, design, city specific, neighborhood specific, investor, think of those words when you're talking about relevancy to the information that you're giving it. When you're kind of coaching your clients on how to write a good review for you. And then response. This is probably the biggest piece of the Google reviews platform. And I think it's the biggest because most people don't use it. But when somebody leaves your review, you have the opportunity to respond to that review. And when you go on and look at reviews online, let's say of a restaurant or something like that, and you see that this restaurant engages every single time with somebody that leaves a review, whether it's a good review or a bad review, they engage and they comment and they say thank you, or they, ask people to call them and they want to fix things. Like, it humanizes that business. It creates this opportunity to say, hey, they're not just, taking all the love, they're also responding back with it as well. So it's just a way to humanize your brand. And Google looks at that and says, wow, not only are they getting a lot of reviews, but they care about the response to those reviews. And one of the things I do have to say is negative reviews are the reality of life, whether people have used our services or not. Maybe it's a spam review or something like that, which you can escalate. But let's say you can't get this negative review off of your Google business. I always say, acknowledge the negative review online, but address it privately offline. What that might look like is, hey, XYZ, I am so sorry that you had the experience that you did with our company. That's not within the standards of how we operate. We would love to get the opportunity to, mend our relationship. Can you please call our office at whatever your phone number is? So you're acknowledging that the review is there. You're acknowledging that maybe they didn't have a stellar experience. You're also acknowledging that that's not the norm, but you aren't kind of combating it online, because we don't want to get combative inside of our reviews. So these are just kind of my best practices when it comes to the Google review strategy. One of the things I will say is when you can implement a consistent reviews ask or a consistent reviews request, this is where you're going to beat out your competition, because most people do not have something like this. And take my suggestions for what they're worth. You obviously don't have to do any or all of those things, or you can get super creative and do something else, but you could use the closing table for a potential video or audio review session. You could obviously just have them write the review in front of you while you're at that closing table as well. You can ask them for a review post closing. So let's say you did a 30-day post closing email or text message or both, just in case. You can also ask your vendor partners. So if you have, a specific inspector you like to use, or maybe you have a photo person that's really amazing and you just want their opinion on your business or whenever they've worked with you before, don't just limit it to clients. Ask your vendor partners to leave you those reviews as well, because they've worked with you, they've seen your business, they see your ethics, and they're great people to give you reviews without having to go out and bug your clients all the time. You can then also take these reviews and feature them on social media platforms, marketing pieces, email signatures. You can even put them into pictures and put them on Google Business as well, if you'd like. And then I always say, if somebody writes you a review, send them a thank you note. If it's a handwritten note, that would be awesome. You could always throw in like a $5 Starbucks gift card if you wanted to. And I don't know if you know, but you can customize Starbucks gift cards in bulk, which I thought is a really cool thing. You could add your logo, you do whatever you want with it, but this is just a thought. It's obviously not something you have to do, but having a strategy of what happens after you close that deal is really, really important to make sure that you're getting those reviews. And just so you know, a minimum of 10 reviews is what's needed to start ranking locally. It's not going to be the only thing. So if you're competing against a bunch of other people who have more than 10 reviews, you're going to need other things, but you need a minimum of 10 to start ranking locally. So the next thing is website SEO and backlinks. So I love this site. It's called semrush.com. I use it often for keyword research, online ranking data. I use it for, looking at metrics of what people are searching and how much people are paying for clicks and all of that stuff. But the cool thing about that is you can look and say, okay, all of these are keywords. How can I implement some of these keywords into my website? So that way, I can utilize those. And then I also can utilize some of those keywords on my Google business profiles. It's really important that those two things match up. Some obviously features on SEMrush are paid, but some are free. And I usually use the free version, but it can really help you with content, blogs, adding FAQs to your website. And one of the things I really like to suggest is if you've had your website for a long time, or maybe you don't like the copy or the content that's on your website, take it, throw it into ChatGPT and ask them to rewrite your content. Obviously, you're going to want to check for spelling errors or any mistakes if they come up with stuff, but give it a refresh, give your content a refresh. And Google loves to see when people are updating old content. So this is something that you can do as kind of like a hack by utilizing the AI platforms that are out there to really kind of refresh your content. So looking at keywords, implementing those into your website, adding also those keywords to your Google business profile, and maybe utilizing those ChatGPT opportunities to rewrite some of those contents. Backlinks are just links back. So let's say you were writing a blog and you wanted to feature, maybe it's a designer that that's local and you wanted to feature them and you were writing about them in your blog and you actually linked a link back to their website. I would also let them know that you did that. So that way, if they're ever doing a feature where they can maybe quote a real estate agent, they can link to your website. So that's kind of the difference between, or that's kind of the description of like what a backlink is on your website. It's a very simple description of that, but that's kind of the simple extent of what that would look like as far as backlinks. Next is citations, and we chatted a little bit about NAP, so name, address, and phone, and how important it is for those to be exactly the same across all platforms on on the interwebs. So I love to kind of check for people's accuracy on their websites. There's a gentleman that I knew from Arizona who runs a kind of like a very high level website in regards to checking your citations and going deeper with your citations. And he will manage people's citations offline for a good chunk of money, but he has a free resource on his website. And his website's yourvaunt.com. And then what you can do is you can go in there, you can put in your business name, your address, your phone number, and it will tell you how accurate your name, address, and phone number citations are across the most important places on the internet. And I love this because what you can do, it'll tell you like 98% inaccurate. And you can go in there and you can look at all the websites where your name and address and phone number are inaccurate. And then you can spend the better part of the next, few weeks updating a couple every day. I also have like a checklist. So if you're not into going to that website, that's totally fine. I can send my checklist of the top citation websites that you can use to update your name, address, and phone number. And this is just a really simple thing to do. If you have teenagers, they might be able to do this for you really quickly. But it's just a super easy way to get some extra Google local search results if you exist in that space across the interwebs. And I will tell you, if your name, address, and phone number are the same across everywhere, your brand shows up online so much better because nobody questions who you are, where your brokerage is, what you look like, all of these things, because they all exist the same in every space of the internet. And I know a lot of people maybe have changed brokerages and stuff like that. So this is really important to make sure that you are showing up and people can reach you no matter where they search. This is kind of like this is definitely a higher level, but let's say you're adding photos to your account. Let's say you're adding listing photos to your account. You can actually geotag your listing photos. So if I take a photo on my phone, it automatically geotags that photo on my phone. But if I'm getting a picture from, let's say, my professional photographer on a listing I have, that photo is not going to be geotagged with the location of that listing. So what you can do is you can go to this website. It's called GeoImager, GeoImgr. You can upload your photo to that website, like your listing photo to that website. You can tag its location, download it, and then upload it into your Google Business profile. And Google Business will be like, oh my goodness, this is where this listing is, and this is where they're working, and it's inside of their service area, and it's connected to where people are saying that they're working with this person. So it's just another like really fun trick to make sure that we're giving Google the information that they want to see as far as where we work. And I promise you, your competition is likely not doing this. This is very deep and very high level when it comes to getting some additional results online. If you want to, if you have a hard time with it, let me know because I can jump in. But I use the free version. You can only tag 5 photos a day with a free version. It's limited as far as its use, but it does what you need it to do. So it'll geotag that photo for you that then you can download it and upload into your Google Business profile. They added a FAQs and a Q&A section recently to your Google Business profile. This is a really important spot where you can take, like, let's say you have an FAQ section on your website. You can take those questions and put them onto the questions on your Google Business profile, and then you can answer those questions. Yes, ask yourself questions and answer those same questions. So it might seem weird, but go to your business profile when you're not logged in, ask some of these common questions, and then from your Google Business profile, answer those common questions. What we're doing is we're just giving Google more information. So if you consistently work with investors, ask some investor questions, answer some investor questions. Maybe your focus is first-time home buyers. What are those questions that those people have, and how can you add that information to your Google Business profile? I would do that in this Q&A section because those exist there forever online once you ask and answer. And it just tells Google more of who you do business with. They just allowed chat, which is amazing because ultimately, if you have chat set up, it's immediately going to send you a message that somebody is trying to chat with you on your Google business profile. Anyone can send you a message via chat. It comes through instantly, likely to your phone. It can come through also to your email, but it's almost like a built-in chat bot, which is awesome. You can train it to respond with certain things, but I would say absolutely set up chat. When you're in your Google business profile setting things up, you can allow it chat or you can disable chat. So if you're not ready for the chat yet, totally fine. Just know that it's there. And once you kind of get ready for it, I would say 100% use it because Google looks at what all you're using in the platform. And then this is one of my favorite things ever. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of Zapier. Zapier has been around a long time. It essentially allows us to have one platform talk to another platform, even if they're not friends. Okay. So let's say I have a CRM and I really want it to talk to my lead gen platform, but they're not friends. Usually Zapier has a way to connect those two through an API integration, where it might send information one way to that thing. So actually Zapier has an integration with ChatGPT and Google Business Profile. So let's say you have a ChatGPT account and you have a Google Business Profile account and you say, I don't have time to respond to my reviews, or I don't know what to say, or whatever it is. You can actually set up a Zapier that tells ChatGPT to respond to your Google Business Profile reviews with certain things when a review comes in. And I thought that this was so cool because when we're talking about like marketing your business, sometimes there are things that just get lost and go by the wayside. And sometimes people just forget to do things. So if there's an opportunity for leverage, where you can set something up that automatically does something for you, I think this is such a cool opportunity to build this in. And you can build in tone of voice. You can tell it to respond via, using keywords that you give it, that are really important. So there's so many different things that you can do, but I love this as a bonus for you. If you're super tech and you want to implement something like this, go to Zapier and do their ChatGPT and Google Business Profile integrations. So the reason that Google Business Profile is important is, since the pandemic, people have been Googling where to buy and near me searches, more than ever. It grew over 200% and it stayed there. So people searching best realtor near me, or, top title company near me, or whatever that search is, people are looking for things around them that also have good results. So this is why having a really robust Google Business Profile is incredibly important. And today, customers are comparing you not only to their previous real estate customer experience, but to their best customer experiences in general. And their initial online search is the start of their overall experience with your brand. So I'm telling you right now, people are Googling you, people are Googling people near them. And whatever you're showing up as online that's their first experience with you. Why not have it be like the best experience ever? They say, your first impression is the best impression, right? Or your first impression makes the most impact. So if people are Googling us, which they do, I Google people. I'm a millennial. Gen Z doesn't necessarily Google. They a lot of times will look at your socials first and then Google. My mom's a boomer and she Googles. Gen X, they Google. So people are looking at these things. They're looking at your reviews. They're reading your reviews. They're reading your online presence. And they're making a decision, even if they've been referred to you by somebody that they know, like, and trust. They want to make sure that they're getting the best of the best, even if it is a personal referral. On that note, I want to quickly thank Rally Point for having us, but I also wanted to open it up to questions. If anyone had questions on their personal profile, on maybe in depth more on any topics that I covered, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. But just so you know, for people who are actively implementing these strategies, they're seeing between 2 and 6 additional leads per year that they're not paying for, people just calling them, asking for their services, asking questions, they're converting, and they have money coming in the door without having to spend anything on Google ads or Google local service ads. Any questions?